Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel and today's video. Today we're gonna do the least favorite shade in palettes. 2 weeks ago or something like that, I did a video with my favorite shadows in palettes. And today I'm gonna take the exact same palettes that I used or showed you guys in the video in the exact same order, and I'm gonna swatch all of my least favorite shadows. I'm not gonna go per quality. I'm gonna do exactly as I did in the last video, that I'm only gonna go by shade. And I think that we will see a lot of bone shadows and we will see a lot of browns in this video. That's what I'm thinking, but we shall see. I don't really know. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and let's just start. So the first palette that we used was the Prism palette, and this is actually the palette that I've used today. In that video I said that Dimension were my favorite and that I wanted to put it on my entire lid and do a look with it, which I did today. And yeah, I'm so excited about that, to get a little bit more use out of this palette. I just remember I need to change shirt because I can't pull this up all the way. Okay, new shirt, so now we can start and swatch all the shades, the bad shades. And we had the Prism palette right here. I would say that Unity is my least favorite shadow. It's not a bone color, but it's more of like a yellow, a little bit darker than me. I have dipped into it, I've used it and everything, but it's just not really a shade that I use. So let's start and swatch this one. Coming on to a really good start. Then we have the Magic palette from Juvias Place. Oh, I have already spotted my least favorite shadow, which is Cassie. I don't use these shades, I'm sorry. My god, this is a dull. This is gonna be some really dull swatches, I promise you. Oh my god, this is the Morphe 39A palette and I have no idea what to choose here. Okay, so this is what the palette looks like. I did choose one of the greens down here as one of my favorites, this one. I don't really have a shade in this palette that I hate, but I would probably never use this one or this one. I like to have something a little bit lighter, or I don't know, bronzy, like brown shimmery shades. Just not really something that I would ever gravitate towards. Maybe this one. This is a little bit more like a cool tone, more like a almost black color. I would never use this on my lid. I don't know, I just think that the look would be very dark and I would rather have a matte on my lid in that case. So yeah, two shades that we can barely see and then a really intense dark brown. Now we are coming to the Blossom palette from Blush Tribe. It looks like this. So now I'm gonna have to choose a least favorite shadow. It's definitely the black, the white, or the brown. It's not the white, so it's the black or the brown. I feel like I can pair the brown with some of these shades, so I'm actually gonna take the black. It does contain some shimmer. Next palette is this one. This is the Makeup Revolution Life on the Dance Floor Sparkles. And this is what this looks like. I have to check on this and see which one is my least favorite. Sorry guys, it's this one. Oh my god, I feel so boring. But I can't lie. I can't choose a shade that I wouldn't... Like, I can't choose a shade just to make this a fun video. I'm so sorry. Okay, now we're coming on to the Juvias Place Saharan 2 palette, and I love this palette. And this is a hard one. I think I have to go with the shade Hadria, which is this one. It's also the one that I have accidentally broken a bit. I'm gonna swatch it right here. You know, it's nothing wrong with the actual shade, but I never ever use coppery shades on my eyes. It's just, I did it in my cranberry look. I don't think that this is I don't think that this is ugly, but all of the other shades, I couldn't choose one, so sorry. Juvia's Place Douce palette is next. Okay, this is the one. I think I have to choose this one because I've never ever used it. I have used this one. I've used not all of the other shades, but this one is probably not even swatched, to be honest. It's just a very dark, rich brown shade. Looks like that. These two actually go very well together. So now we're coming on to the second Anastasia palette, and this is the Subculture palette. What shade don't I use? I would probably have to say Adorn. It's, as I've said, it's just not really shades that I gravitate towards, like coppery shades. It's just not me. I know people obsess over these. I don't. Oh my god, I already know which my hate shade, which my least favorite shade is in the palette that I'm gonna choose next. This is the Creepy Cute, no, this is the Strobe Cosmetics Creepy Cute palette. Can you guess it? Pause the video and tell me which shade I'm gonna choose as my least favorite. Okay, so this is what the palette looks like. We did have a black. I don't have the black, but we did have a black in this one. If I still had the black, I wouldn't choose the black, so I'll be honest and say that. I am going to say this gray shade, and I have actually used it today. I've used this for the first time today, so I have it right here in my outer corner. I don't ever use gray shadows. It's nothing wrong with the actual shade, it's just, I can't use gray shadows. I don't like them. Next up, we have another rainbow palette. This is the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette. And this is what it looks like. Which one is my least favorite? I'll be honest and say that I don't actually have a shade that I hate in this palette. Like, just looking at it, that I think isn't a shade that I would use. But I think I'm gonna say this yellow. It's nothing wrong with the shade. It's just not performing great at all. Okay, I'm gonna need to build this one up just so you can see the actual shade of it. So here we have it. Oh my god, what a boring arm swatch I have. Like all of this. Now we're coming on to the second blush type palette. This is the Hasina palette, and it looks like this. I already know I'm going to take the shade Farida, which is this one. I think I only swatched this one when I was doing my review video, but other than that, I would never use it. Like this brown, I could use with in some of these looks, but this is a shimmer shade that I would never use. It's not my style of shadows at all. It's not ugly, but it's just not really my style. Yeah, moving on. So next palette is the BH Cosmetics Festival palette, and this is what it looks like. I do think I have to say the gray. I'm not fond of this shade. So this is what it looks like. You know the Dimension shade that I have on right here from the Prism palette? That is more like a purple, almost gray, but it's a purple, and that's why I love it. This one, it's just a boring gray. Do we have to drag it out a bit? Don't really know. Oh my god, I already know. Now we're going on to the Juvias Place Zulu palette, and I already know which is my least favorite shadow. So here it is. This is a beautiful, colorful palette, but the brown. It doesn't have a shade name, but the brown. I've used it once when I just got it. It was my first look I ever did. So I used the yellow in my transition, then I used the orange. I used the green on my lid, but then I tried to smoke it out with a brown, and can you imagine what happens when you mix a brown and a orange? Like it's just, ugh. So the brown, this is not, if this were a palette, I wouldn't purchase it. Honestly, like these swatches, oh my god. But they're less bone colors than I actually thought, but it's probably because the palettes haven't contained bone shadows. Okay, now we're on to the Colourpop Elements of Surprise palette, and I'm not sure. Yes, I am. I'm gonna take this shade. This is the shade Go With The Flow. It's a little bit darker than a bone color. It's more of like a pinkish, peachy bone color. Oh my god, it was actually quite cute. I don't know how well you can see that. This really is the palette of surprise. It's really pinky peach. I would use this as a transition shade. I could use it. Now we're coming on to the Viseart Viseart Editorial Brights palette. I was about to say Viseart Elements of Surprise palette, but that's not correct. So you could already see how it looks like, but I'm not gonna take the white in this palette actually. I'm gonna take the same shade as LS did. If you wanna watch her video, I can link it in my description box. I'm gonna take this shade. I have never used it. There's something about it that just doesn't really make sense in my opinion, and I don't like it. This doesn't have a shade name, so yeah, I'm just gonna swatch it right here. But this is definitely the most fun shadow of all of these that I have on my arm right now. Now we have to start getting done because I don't have that much space left. This is the Sigma Creme de Couture palette, and this is also a palette that I used today. I actually used this brown shade right here. So I'm gonna take a shade that I maybe not you could think of, but this is Violent Whip, and this is just not a good shade. It's so pastel-y and it's so bad in pigment that it just doesn't really show up. I tried to use this as sort of like a crease color today, but it just didn't work. So that's why it's going as a least favorite, because it is almost like a really pale bone color almost. It's not really that great on the eyes, to be honest. So this is what it looks like. Not a fun color story. Quite differently than the other one. Blush Tribe Malika palette. I actually love this really dark brown shade, but I think I'm gonna go with, yeah, I'm gonna go with Rani. This is a poopy color. Yeah, looks like that. It's just a warm brown. Not really my kind of shade. We only have 2 palettes left, and the next palette is the La Belle So Lush palette. This is what the palette looks like, and I am going to take the Shadow Space as my least favorite, which is this one. It's like a shimmery dark gray shadow. Okay, are you excited for the last palette? So the last palette comes from Juvias Place as well, and this is the Festival palette, and it looks like this. Okay, I don't like this shadow. It's almost black. It's called Kiliki. And yeah, I've used it in a tutorial, but it was only because I wanted to use all the shadows in the palette in my 3-look 1 palette video. So yeah. Okay, let's look at the arm swatches. This is definitely my favorite shadow of these entire shadows, like all of these. So maybe I should appreciate this more because I actually swatched. It was kind of pretty. I don't remember which this one came from, but this was actually kind of pretty as well. Not something that I would probably use that much, but it was really pretty now seeing it swatched. The yellow, these are just really boring shades to me, and I really have discovered that I don't like grays. We have 1, 2, 3 grays in this. and only 2 bone colors. Well, 3 if I'm gonna count this one or this one. But yeah, that was all from my least favorite shadows in a palette. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like. If you didn't like it, thumbs the video down so I know. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!